Hey, hey.
Hello, good morning,
Good
Showiteers.
morning, everybody.
Happy Tuesday. Is it
Yes,
Tuesday?
it is. It's a rainy day around the
It is
mothership
a
here.
rainy day. You might notice the slightly blue hue that's in the sky.
That's true.
Yeah,
It's making us look very
very
pale,
blue. It's how it feels outside. It's
lifeless
gloomy.
right now.
It is gloomy. Yeah.
I feel like I should have a mug of like hot chocolate or
Yeah, I
something,
know.
even though it's still rainy and like 90 degrees
Yeah,
outside.
I woke up this morning and said, I have no idea how to dress. It's just that weird time of year where it's August and you know it could be 115 at some point in the day, or it could be raining like buckets on your head.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't really want to wear sandals, but you don't want to wear something.
It's
Arizona
confusing.
problems,
It's difficult
guys.
to know what
It's
to do.
tough. It's tough. That's just the life we live here.
Yeah,
on Mothership.
we've got a couple people in chat here.
Sweet.
Mariah
Welcome.
and Julia are here, checked into live chat. So we want to remind you to on this side, go ahead and click the gear to log into live chat,
Yeah.
and also share the live show on your Facebook and Twitter feeds.
Yeah.
Invite people to come join us.
Come join the fun.
We've got Joel here joining us today,
Yeah.
and he will be sharing his top 10 tips for booking weddings.
Yeah, you can see him
Oh, there's
waving
Joel.
there in the corner.
We're going to come back to Joel,
We'll come back to you, Joe.
but yeah.
Oh, I think he's doing his mannequin impression, or he hung for a second. Either way, it was great.
Now you've got a couple things.
Yeah, we've got some stuff to share here. I don't know if you guys have been to showiteer.com before. One of my favorite blogs. One of my top 5 favorite blogs. This is an older post that I came across lately that I was just thinking about the other day when I was watching Netflix.
Oh, what's this one?
This is what you should be binge watching on Netflix during
Nice.
your editing marathon.
Binge watching. So what do you recently?
So yeah, so what we did the Orange is the New Black. We watched through those. I haven't got into some of these. Here, I'll just go through the list, and you can say if you've watched any of these. Lost, of course.
Yes.
I watched Lost.
Yes, I watched Lost.
All about Lost. Great show. Alias, never got into Alias. How about you?
No, I did not get into Alias
Yeah.
either.
Good news though, it's on Netflix. You can binge watch it because
Yeah.
apparently, I'm not a photographer, but you can speak to this. When you're editing, you're just going through it, and it's nice to have something in the background.
Yeah,
like
you know,
music
you're just-
or what.
Yeah, because you need something. I usually did it to music, but
Yeah.
that was probably before Netflix really was really available with a
Mm-hmm.
lot of good TV series and stuff, and so it just helps.
Yeah.
It helps get into like a rhythm where you just have something in the background, and helps kind of keep
Yeah.
things going.
Well, one thing I heard is you really have to pay attention because some people start editing their pictures differently depending on what they're watching. So if you're like watching a horror show, your pictures are going to start getting super dark.
Darker.
And if you're watching like comedies, so you got to pay attention.
So you might be influenced based on like what the
Exactly.
scenes show.
Exactly. So you need to pay attention to it.
Oh,
Keep it
man.
consistent. Let's see, what's New Girl? Never watched that.
No.
Did you get into
Oh,
that?
you know what? I saw some episodes when they first started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
funny.
Orange is the New Black.
My wife has this on her list.
Oh, she does.
Yeah. Have you watched it?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
we've watched it.
What do you think?
It's an intense show, but my wife Carrie used to work in a women's prison
Oh,
in California, so it's interesting just to watch. And there's they did a good job. So interesting show. House of Cards never really got into.
No.
But these are all great shows, great recommendations from Elizabeth Langford. So
Yeah.
thank you, Elizabeth, for
Thank
posting
you.
that up.
I
And,
have West Wing
check it
is
out.
on my list.
Oh, okay, West Wing.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of those, right?
7 seasons.
Yeah, that one's got.
And they're all on Netflix, so
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of doing that.
Do we hang?
So as we just kind of hang here,
Literally.
we're just gonna. Oh, sweet! This is awesome.
Big old question
Hey, there
mark,
we go.
And we're back.
All right.
Woo!
And
Woo!
Wow, we almost got lost there for a second.
That was intense. We were doing our mime impression.
So
or
glad we're back.
Mannequin impression. Okay, got a couple other quick things here.
Okay.
Some cool stuff I found that you guys will be interested in. Google's 360 Panorama Photosphere app
That's new.
comes to iOS. This is 57 minutes ago, JT. JT doesn't even know
geez.
about this. He's going to download this the second the
So
show
what?
ends.
So do I
This is
take the
breaking
photos,
news.
or am I just watching?
No, you can take the photos. So
Oh.
it's what you see here in the little picture. You just center it, and then you just literally move the camera
Go
all around, and you can get
Maybe I should do that now. With
a complete 360
Studio.
panorama photosphere. And it's cool because I think you can also look up other ones that excuse me, people have uploaded Like
like
they
on a
have
map
some here.
nearby.
Yeah.
Nice.
So for certain places like Sedona, or out in the wilderness, or even in your bedroom,
Or the mothership.
That's right. Or the mothership. I think we should do one on the mothership.
I think we
Maybe
should.
we'll do that today and post it up.
Post it up on Google.
That'd be fun. So check that out. Really cool app. I've tried it before on Android phone, and it's a lot of fun. One more thing, you guys will be interested in here. Going live. This is a fake lens that is a vacuum for your camera.
What?
Yeah. So dust is an issue, right?
Okay.
Especially in the desert.
Yeah.
You're getting dust in your camera like crazy. Kicking up dust, it's getting in there, bad news. Ruins your camera. This little guy, put in your lens case, every so often if you're out shooting in the wilderness, pop this thing on, sucks all the dust out of your camera.
What?
How cool is that?
That is cool.
Yeah.
So it works. It
case,
pulls air in and blows it out through a filter and stuff.
Just a little vacuum.
Man,
Pretty
that's a great idea to get some of that dust off of your lamp or your sensor.
Yep. Get that dust off the sensor. So great to do, on site.
Wow. Where can I get that?
Does
it say?
I don't know. Let me see here. It's only $34.
Oh wow.
How cool is that? This might be Japanese.
It may not yet be available in America.
But
we'll be looking for it.
That says $34. I think you'll be looking for it. Check out the article. It's on Gizmodo.
That's pretty sweet.
Get yourself one of those. Pretty neat. So yeah, that's all I got. Some photo news and Showiteer news.
Well, I guess that we should bring in our special guest, Joel.
Let's do it.
And
Joel.
Hey!
Welcome to the show, Joel.
Hey.
Okay, here, Joel.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's my first time, so I'm a little nervous, but I think we can do it.
No.
I think they can hear Joel, but we can't hear Joel.
They can hear him, but we can't.
Oh.
Hold on. Let me try this.
No,
can't hear him.
Did you adjust anything on 5.6 there?
Joel's just gonna talk to you guys directly.
Oh, now
there
you
he
hear
is.
him.
We got him.
Sweet.
Sorry about that.
No worries, Joel. There you go.
Awesome. So there's Joel. Welcome, Joel. So glad to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I'm nervous, but I think we can do it.
Oh yeah, you got this.
Don't worry about it. You got it. So why don't you start off? Let the people know what your current website address is and a little bit about you.
Okay. Sure. My current website. Llacar photography.com, and I'm in Thousand Oaks, California. Which is between Santa Barbara and Los Angeles.
Okay.
And I've been doing this for 7 years, so I love it. Sorry, that was my son. And totally love it, enjoying it. Still killing it for my couples. So I just specialize in weddings. So.
Awesome, man. Well, I remember meeting you at United a couple of years ago and stuff, and we sat down at lunch, and I just got to kind of hear about your business and how it just sounded like awesome.
Yeah.
And we're glad to have you.
Yeah, we sat next to each other and on lunch. So yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. So we said after that, we said, this is a guy we need on the show.
That's right.
This guy knows what's what. He knows how to book the clients. And that's why he's here.
Well, yeah, I know you've been doing this for such a long time and stuff. I think that your expertise can really help out a lot of people and stuff. So you've got a top 10 list for things to do to book wedding clients.
Right, that's right.
So would you like to share your first
tip
there?
Yeah, let's dive into it.
Dive in.
Sure. So let me preface this by saying that a lot of these tips I learned from other photographers. Or just good old-fashioned, hard-tested, meeting with couples, see what's not working, what's working. So these are the tips that will work, that has worked for me for years. So take some few gems from it, and hopefully it'll work. How you meet with your couples. But the first one, is really important. Is just to, right off the bat, is pre-qualify your couples. Mm-hmm. So either by putting a starting price on a website or a range, is when they contact you, at least have some expectation as to, what they have to spend in order to work with you. So you waste your time by meeting and then not being able to meet your budget. So right off the bat, you know, uh, have some expectations. Pre-qualify them before you set up your face-to-face meeting.
What are some things that you do, or you make sure to ask to know that you've definitely like pre-qualified them for your
Oh,
list?
sure. Other than starting price in your website or range in your website, if most photographers doesn't have a price on their site, that's fine. If they contact them via email, they have like an auto response. That's how I set up mine. I says, hey, thank you for contacting me. Most of my couples, I started 3,000, but most of my couples spend between 600, for a complete package, and then include all the principles like high-res digital files, pass, albums, things like that.
Gotcha.
So
So
that's
kind of clarifying up front, like what the starting price is, and making
right.
sure that they saw it on your website, even if it is there.
Right. And also I have a shoot your questionnaire that asks them about the details of their wedding, and then I gauge their interest, like how important is photography to you. So if it's like, it's a number between 1 and 10. If it's like, 7, if it's like lower than 7, then, we know it's probably not going to be a good fit, So that's how I gauge their importance in wedding photography, in booking me as their wedding photographer.
Okay, that's a really good question. Kind
Yeah,
of asking the importance of, how much they're willing. That asks them how much they're willing to invest in it for the wedding.
that's right. hmm
Awesome. Okay. So what's your second tip?
The second one is, uh, before you start selling, get to know your couples first. I think it's so important to have that relationship, right off the bat, and don't just ask them like how they met. Every photographer has asked that question. You'll ask them, and the photographers before you probably ask them, and other photographers will ask them even after your meeting. So, instead of having like an interview, have a conversation, and listen attentively, and show interest in their lives, and don't just ask like, how'd you guys meet, things like that. So, I would just ask them like, what are you most excited about as you think about your wedding? What are a few of the most important things you want to be sure to remember them? And then, look at them, listen twice, tell me about how you imagine your wedding day, and, really pay attention, watch your body language, and, like really lean in and really interest, and, show sincere interest in their lives, So that's a couple things. Another thing is, do you remember the first time you knew you were going to ask her to marry you? So these are really good, in-depth questions to ask your couples. Like, you're really showing interest, and like you have a stake in their lives, and
Yeah, for sure.
so you have a vested interest in their journey as they get married. So yeah, that's what will separate you from other photographers. Oh yeah, so and so asked me this question, and I like that the photographer's really asking me, these in-depth questions.
No, that's great. So asking unique and more in-depth questions than just
Yeah,
the
yeah, like
standard ones that a photographer would.
ask how they met, or where's your venues, or yes. I've asked those questions. I'm guilty. I've asked those too.
Yeah.
You want to be like different.
Well, and you're gonna get those answers at some point during the conversation and stuff.
Yeah, I do have on the Showiteer blog. It's linked. Now, some of these questions I actually just I just grabbed from the internet, so I don't claim to be these are my questions, but I found them to be very helpful.
Awesome. That's great. So yeah, and we can actually post some of those questions up, maybe in the show notes and stuff. You can give us kind of a list of some good ones.
Yeah.
Why don't you move on and go on to tip number 3?
Okay, so tip number 3 is your albums. So when presenting your wedding albums, I show about 2 to 3 books. Now, if their venue is at the same place, if you shot at a venue they're gonna get married, so obviously bring that book. But I should go through the images, talk to them as if it's their own wedding album. So don't just say, oh, this bride getting ready, say like, oh, this getting ready bridal room, I'm gonna put your wedding gown on the. So talk to them as if it's their own, book. Take them to that place. Get them excited. Show interest. Yeah, be excited for them. Show excitement. Yeah, just show excitement and just tell them that, oh yeah, I'm gonna photograph your ring like this. I'm gonna put it on a tree, or oh, this beautiful. If it's like an outdoor wedding, oh yeah, I'm gonna put all the couple shot like you and your husband. I'm gonna put you in this awesome vista. Yeah, so talk to them if it's their own wedding because that'll get them really excited. Most of the time actually I book wedding just on step number 3 because I just got him all riled up.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
excited. Yeah,
For
so
sure, you're getting them to envision like that the
yeah.
book is like a representation of what their wedding is going to be.
Yeah, yeah. Because you're taking them. Yeah, that book is a storybook of their day. So why don't you talk to them as if it's their own day? So tell a short backstory of the wedding. Oh yeah, I was underneath this. And I shot that. At the ring bearer as he was crying. So yeah, it's still backstory of your strongest images and how you captured it. And be excited. I always have enthusiasm and always smiling and just be excited for them and usually that works.
That's an awesome tip. I love that, and it's probably something I don't know if I ever did as a wedding photographer, like talking as though the album is like what their story is going to be and stuff. So that's an awesome tip. I love that.
Yeah, it's a good tip. Yeah.
I imagine it makes the album sale afterwards a little bit easier too, because they've seen the album, they know what you offer already in terms of albums. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and most of the time they don't want an album, but if you're talking to them about this book, then they're more likely to want a book.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Sweet.
All right, we're on number 4.
We're number 4 now.
Number 4.
Okay. So this is more like a sell tactic. So as you finish presenting your last book, you want to gauge your client's interest by doing a soft sell. So as you finish your last book, you want to ask your couple, so what do you think of these photos? Are these the kind of photos that you want to see yourself? So that's like a soft sell. And so you want to, that's how you can tell, oh yeah, I really like it. Yeah, I really like this image. So if they show like positivity, then you know that, you can move forward. Like, yeah, you'll be able to tell like it's going to be, you may be able to book this couple because, you're doing a soft sell.
For sure. So you can get them, and it's kind of nice to get them to say yes, too, as you start to.
It's trying to sell, but not actually selling.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, awesome. Yeah. So ask some good questions to kind of get the soft sale, like confirmation that they like what you're showing them.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
So move on to the next one.
Yeah, number 5.
So after you show all your books. Then you want to move on to the business portion, which is your price list. So I assume that the client has been pre-qualified and they have some expectation what the budget is. So there's no surprises. So when you have your price sheet, keep it simple. Do the KISS principle. Make it very easy for them to understand and not too many packages. My personal thought is I recommend 3 to 4 packages and keep it simple in one sheet. Don't have to go through like 2 to 3 because they'll get confused, and do not overwhelm them. This is probably the first time meeting a professional photographer. You're the first photographer they've met, so you don't want to overwhelm them. And there's this thing called analysis paralysis. If it's too complicated, then they'll get confused and they're most likely not book your highest package or not even hire you at all.
Yeah, so they may go for the easiest solution to not have to struggle over it and stuff. They have to make a lot of decisions when it comes to wedding.
It's a lot of decisions. So. You want to make your price list as like your salesman. Your wingman, so to speak, is helping you sell. So don't make the prices the detractor. Make it help sell your services. So by keeping it real simple and easy to understand. Which is segue to my number 6.
Okay.
So this is more like a psychology. So the way I do it is have your starting price on the bottom of your price list. but then start with your highest package on top and then work your way down. Now, why I do that is because I want to keep the highest package will serve as your anchor. So this is like the anchoring effect. So it's a psychological effect by making your other packages, your target package, look affordable. So I have I call it a Whopper, the Whoppers or like the. So I have like a price like it's so expensive, it's like, oh yeah, I want to make my target package like seem like cheap. So maybe I have my top package is actually $8,000, but it's making my package like six. Oh yeah, so sometimes they book my highest. Okay, I'm not gonna stop them from booking my highest package,
Not
but
at all.
really there to make it look, so that's called the anchor effect. So that's
great.
That's awesome. That's a great tip, and it's a good reminder to like start with that big price first and work your way down. And they'll kind of let you know like when they hit a point where they feel comfortable.
Right. Of course, they have some idea. Most of the couples don't know what packages are, and so it's up to you. You're the expert. And you're the expert, so they'll look up to you to see what the best package is.
That's great.
And then to my number 7 is may have mentioned it. Clearly explain each line item. Go through each one. And I should go through all the packages and make a recommendation. Because you're the expert. They look up to you, so you make a recommendation. Oh yeah, based on your what you're looking for, I recommend package number 3 or package number 4, for example.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Joel, we got a couple of questions here in the chat real quick.
Yeah.
If we could ask you.
Sure.
Okay. Joseph Pascua says, how do you deal with a client who wants to cut to the chase at the very beginning of the meeting and talk about pricing? Or kind of in that same realm, a client that you just know is price shopping. So they're just trying to get a price, and they maybe, are just looking for the lowest price, and they don't want to, go through the experience of looking through the album necessarily. How do you kind of deal with that and help steer them where you want? Oh, did you freeze?
Yeah, I've asked them because on my email or on a phone consultation, I always tell, hey, my meetings are normally 1 to 2 hours long because I love to get to know you guys, get to know me. Hopefully we're a good fit. So they know how long my meetings are.
Yeah.
So they know what it's like. So if they just come to the chase, then it may not be a good fit. Because I love to get I get to know my couples, because if they just want to cut to the chase, then I'm not doing them a favor, and they're not obviously doing me a favor too, because they obviously do not value photography. If they're just gonna cut to the chase, and that's not how I work. So photography is not just producing images and then delivering it. It's about an experience, and I look at the whole picture. It's about giving your clients a really awesome experience, and if they just want to cut to the chase, then it may not work out.
Yeah, and I think it cut out when you were saying that it's setting the right expectation.
Yeah, back to number 1. Yeah, that they should probably know ahead of time, even before you talk with them. Kind of what your prices are, and they should be hopefully willing to commit to that.
For sure.
So, great question. One more question from Andy. He said, do you give anything to go home with after the meeting, or like an information booklet to help them decide? If maybe they're not sure, maybe they're talking to a couple different photographers, do you kind of give them anything to take home with them?
Yeah, actually, that was my number 8.
Oh man, look at that! You're on number 8 too, right?
Yeah, I think you're on number 8 next, right?
At the end of the meeting, I hand them out a packet, which is like a presentation folder with my logo, with my business card, including your price sheet, your wedding contract, and of course, very important, a stamped self-addressed envelope. So if they want to go old school, mail you a check, make it easy for them, make it easy for them to pay you, put a stamp on the envelope, take care of the little things, so they know that you're a professional, that you're an expert. So yeah, take care of the little things, put a stamp on it, so
yeah,
that's my
And it's also the same reason that when people send out the invitations to the wedding, they still include an envelope with a stamp already for the RSVP response and stuff, because you want to make it easy for people to respond, and so you want to make it easy for people to pay you.
Right. Yeah, make it easy for them to pay you, and you take care of the little things.
Yeah.
And so that goes a long way. Oh yeah, this photographer, he even put a stuff. It's not much, but you never know. Maybe all they need is a little nudge on your favor. That's all they took to book your highest package.
Yeah. Yeah, and they see that you're professional and you know what you're doing, and those little things really do add up. We had a couple more questions. Is that all right with you, Joel?
Yeah.
Yes.
No problem.
Awesome. This is great. Lots of great questions in the chat here. Lainey said, how do you respond to the initial inquiry email? Have you found any certain, she said, have you found something that works and something that doesn't?
Well, if they email me, then I also email them back. It is important to respond as soon as possible, possibly within an hour, as soon as you get an inquiry, or if they call you back. So I have an auto response. I know some photographers don't like auto response, but for me, because I'm so busy, that I set up my shoot queue to send out a auto response, and so I just say, hey, thank you for contacting me. Let me just check my availability. I'll get back to you within 1 business day. That's usually my response. And then I have I start at this number, and then most couples, again, the expectation, the range, and then at the end, so I usually meet my couples at these, at this venue. So I like meeting my couples at hotel lobby. So they already know where I meet my couples right off the bat. So there's there's no surprises like.
Okay, that actually was a question that was just asked by Carrie Swale. She was wondering where you met with your clients and if that played a big role in how they responded.
Yeah, I make my couples go to me. I don't go to them. Well, most of the time, if they live in Orange County, which is kind of a distance, I make them go to me. So that's another way of gauging my client's interest. I'm not trying to be absolute, but I'll try hard. What I mean is I'm trying to be kind of hard to get. Oh yeah, Joel's hard. So I make him go to me. So and I make him meet. At the nice venue, which is not far from my house. So.
Awesome. I think that's a great point too. I think you maybe even lose some of those people who are just price shopping or just they're not taking it quite as seriously. If someone is coming to you and taking the time and they know your price, you probably stand a lot better chance of booking them in the first place because their interest is a lot higher. So that's a great point. That makes a big difference.
So you mentioned meeting at hotel lobbies. One thing I thought I might just throw out there that people may not know is that Marriott hotels usually let people reserve a spot in the lobby area for free. And stuff. So,
there's a Hyatt near me that they just totally revamped, and it's totally super cool. It's really, really nice, and they have lots of tables to meet, and they know me over there, and and the manager hooks me up with Wi-Fi because I give him business.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I shot there so many times already, and I even suggested their venue, to other couples because some couples haven't booked their venue yet. So, so I said, hey, this is a nice venue. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Works both ways.
So I think you were on number 9 now.
Number 9, yeah.
Okay, yeah, number 9 is very important. We've seen the movie Glengarry Get Lost. ABC, always ask for a sale, always be closing.
Okay. So ABC.
This 8 will matter if you don't ask for the sale. At the end, hey, we sound like a good fit. Why don't we make it official? If you have a Square card reader, they want to pay by credit card. You have a contract, right? Let's make it happen. Take it. There's one less thing you have to worry about. So I always ask for the sale, and most of the time, they say yes, and that's how I booked my last 2 couples. They booked my highest package. I always ask for the sale. Don't leave him hanging. They don't know what's next. Is he gonna contact me? Is he gonna follow with me? No, ask for the sale. If they don't, and that's again plays along with the soft sell. If they're showing really positive interest in
earlier in the meeting and stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
So you do the soft sell again is kind of towards the end of the album, showing off the albums, showing off the photos, and then before you really started talking about pricing, and then it's the closing question at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, and well, of course, if they're not so sure about the soft sell, then then it's really up to you to get a feel of how the meeting is going. You get a feel the temperature of the client, like are they still interested after showing your price list. Again, that plays along with giving them the price list right off the bat, even at the inquiry level, so they know there's no surprises.
Okay, so you send them the price list before the meeting? Or just the starting?
I was gonna set up a meeting with them. Oh yeah, let's meet next week. Then I send them the link to my Showiteer pricing, which they have. So all my pricing's there, so they know like what kind of prices, what kind of packages that I'm offering.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that brings us to number 10.
Number 10.
So number 10 is if you're getting to weddings or you're struggling with your pricing, I recommend going to Matt Kennedy's pricing online course. I think it's only $89. It really helped me a lot figure out, how many weddings I want to book and how much you want to make, and it breaks down like the packages. So it really, really helped me a lot. I think it's only $90. And I'll have the link after the show on the blog.
Oh, okay. So we'll post it in the show notes afterwards.
Oh yes, and I also forgot to mention that Lawrence Chan's creative pricing and packaging, which really also helps. I learn from the psychology of pricing, or how to structure your packages, and the psychology of pricing. He's giving a 20% discount for 1 week from, which is good for a week from today. We just use my name, Mr. Llacar, as the code. It's 20% off. His brand new creative pricing and packaging for photographers by Lawrence Chan to Furious. So really, really helpful. Helped me a lot too.
Yeah, and I think for those, we kind of had you breaking up there and stuff. So just to clarify, you were talking about Furious, Lawrence Chan's, his creative pricing and packaging for photographers, and he's giving a 20% off code this week. Starting today, if you use the code Mr. Llacar, MRLLACAR.
That's right.
Awesome. That's great. So you used, did you reference that as well for putting your packages together and stuff in addition to Matt Kennedy's pricing info?
Well, for the actual, the price that, I guess you can combine it too, but for actual, where you want to start as far as pricing, it's establishing pricing. I use Matt Kennedy, but for actual packages, how you structure them, and again, how to sell and how to display in a price list. It's Lawrence Chan to Furious. So I guess both resources can mix. They touch on both price topics, but for the Furious is really for the how to be creative with your packaging.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's a whole nother challenge in addition to once you get your prices set, is then how to kind of like, what do people want in packages, or how do you create these like tiers of packages and stuff. Yeah. So, were there any other questions that came up in the live chat?
I think that's it. I think we're good. Man. Joel,
awesome.
Great stuff. Yeah, really, really good stuff.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for providing that knowledge here, and definitely you guys check out the show notes a little bit later, and send this to your friends. This is some really, really good stuff.
Yeah, the show will be recorded as always, and will be available to play right after the show ends.
Yep.
And stuff. Speaking of which, we want to thank you. Oh, are you showing? Are you moving all around here and stuff?
Yeah, sorry, I'm in a hotel right now, and my kids are swimming. Yeah.
You're on vacation?
Yeah, I'm in a beautiful La Quinta Inn in La Quinta.
Oh, nice.
So,
now, who's this with you?
Hi.
Hello.
It's all wet right now.
Awesome. Well, Joel, thanks again for joining us this week.
Thank you.
And for sharing those awesome tips and stuff.
Thanks, Joel.
Thank you.
See ya.
We'll see you later. So later on in the week, we have on Thursday, 10 a.m. Again, we have Chad de Blasio coming to talk about how to shoot for the edits. So thinking of like the editing in mind when you're shooting and stuff. So you don't want to have to do nearly as much afterwards if you can do it before.
Do that groundwork beforehand.
Yeah. So is there anything else?
I think that's it. Check it out.
Awesome.
Join us Thursday, and thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
See ya.